did. I'm still a pitch mode. So
I think maybe a risk assessment on stool.
You want to swap the stool?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Collaborative harmonies, take one.
Wait, hair forward, hair back.
Continuity. Continuity. We are coming from all over the world. Don't line up, but it's probably 20 plus countries or so.
3 continents.
Polish, South Africa, and Chile.
Yeah, we've got another one over there.
We got a Brazilian over there.
Okay. I think what's really interesting about that is how we can all learn from each other on a daily basis. It's not only about the projects that we work on, it's not only about interacting with clients, it's all about what we bring to the table.
And I think it has a massive impact on the way we see work. I think we don't look at work through one lens, which is really important. And whenever we are about to start doing that, I think there's always someone on the team that's like, that doesn't feel right. We had a project Go Time, I think, that was for the Philippines, and we were all very, very much so aware that we weren't from that part of the world, and we were very much so aware that we needed to have a bigger perspective and a different perspective that wasn't Eurocentric or that wasn't westernized, and that was why the project was really successful.
I think bringing your perspective is like really important, but it's hard to like be like, this is what I think and this is how I feel, especially if like perhaps you're more junior, like starting out, like to have the courage to be like, actually no, I think this is right, and like
Terrifying.
you might have like there might be like a kind of technical gap, but like you kind of bring like cultural understanding, like stuff like that, which I think is like just as valuable, but like having the kind of confidence to like back it is a real like difficult thing to learn.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of is invited to speak and contribute and give their opinion on the early exploration. And I think, you know, some people may be a bit shy, nervous, and don't speak, but it's a really open table discussion.
It's giving the platform, and it may be you do it in a group session. If they don't feel comfortable, you may do little small sessions, okay? But it's providing the platform, and it's encouraging. I think that is the key part, is not everyone has the same skill sets, and they're very different and very unique.
For me, I don't work so much on like the outward-facing client projects, but it's great to sit next to, you know, like Karun, one of the DDs, and it's funny to kind of like see him working on something, and he'll kind of look at me and he's like, "What do you think about the messaging of that?" Or like, "What about that word?" And it's just like, I don't know, things like that. I think it helps to really streamline like the iteration process and just make it really like flow. And I think that's why, I know we touched on it a lot, but that's why like campfires and like these working sessions are so great, is that you're getting everybody top down, giving their perspectives and their feedback.
I think with like the campfires, I remember like my very first one, it was kind of like how everyone's like around the table discussing the work, but it's how everyone's input is like valid and like everyone's opinion is like listened to. And I remember like getting asked like how I felt about the project, which as like an intern, like I wasn't expecting, but it's like nice to see how like everyone that's working on that project, like their opinion is like valued and is listened to.
And you feel like you're part of the project as well, because like you might be working, you know, on one side of the brief, but then when you actually see what everyone else did, and you kind of like bring your piece of the work as well to the table, you kind of feel like you're part of something bigger, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it's actually probably through that collaboration and input from all sort of parties gives us the ability and the drive to sort of overcome any sort of challenges, constraints, issues that come up, you know, to sort of make the best work possible.
I feel like it helps you to understand yourself better, you know, because you can kind of like test yourself in a different situations. Like Victor was saying, in a campfire, you have to be a little bit of a showman. And like, although it's challenging, at the same time, you can also practice the skills. Like the more senior you get, the more often you have to present and you have to like be comfortable at speaking to groups of people. So having that exposure early helps you.
So for context, we're currently being filmed in our third studio.
That's
so we started in Borough High Street.
Borough High Street.
We went to Chalk Farm. Then we came to Printing House Yard, which is in Shoreditch.
Right, yes.
And we bought this studio.
Yeah, that was
and the reason we bought it
fantastic
was
thing
we
to
wanted a semi-permanent home, somewhere we felt was safe and ours. But the thing that's interesting about the space, I think, is this is where we grew from the two of us to DixonBaxi as a larger company.
And so bringing new people in added different perspectives, different energy. As I was saying, you know, the type of work that we were getting, the scale of it was way different. And so, you know, we had the growing pains that came with that. So I think this studio epitomizes going from 2 to quite a few, you know, maybe 12 to 15 to 20, maybe 25, and figuring out how that all worked. So the mechanics of that is extremely different. You know, how you support those people, how this space copes with that, how it adapts. But what was exciting there was just a real buzz of energy. That's the thing I remember is like, let's just make cool shit, you know.
I wish I could say that, like, there was like a very structured way about it, but I guess the beauty of it is that there is no structured way about it. You know, usually the DD or the producer or the strategist, or actually all three, would come with these prompts. It's creative exercises to get you thinking about creative brief. And everyone gets the same prompt regardless of what role you were, which goes to my point of, like, everyone working together.
And yeah, you can all kind of like riff off each other's work, and like people, designers can say, oh, the way that moves is really cool. Like if we sort of tweak the design, sort of make use of that more, then maybe that unlocks this route for this brand or something. It's just everyone sort of collaboratively trying to see sort of pathways and hidden avenues and like how and patterns and how things can sort of like group together and sort of start moving in certain directions to form routes.
And the clash and collision of those might result in something new. So to be honest, actually, it might not necessarily track with the challenge or the brief even, but sometimes that's okay.
What's like the best way to say it? There's no actual fires.
We say that to everyone. This is the time to go wild, go free, and really experiment and try out those things that you've always in the back of your head been like, oh, I've never had time to actually do that. Now I do. Then throughout the process, going back to that time and to that time of experimentation and keeping those things alive, like keeping the magic or keeping that richness that was created in that period throughout the entire project.
You know, it's a collection of things. So I think it's a mindset and the ability to hack and mess around that makes good work. And then the fun bit is curation. You know, pulling the threads and go, hang on a minute, just that little thing there could be a fragile idea that we can fan the flames on.